Welcome into Oilers TV Playoffs presented by Sport Chek. Chris Wescott alongside 630 Ched's Reid Wilkins to break down the Oilers and Sharks as this series shifts to San Jose for Game 3. Reid, 2 games in, we have a little bit of a sample size to work with on the Oilers. What have we seen so far, a win and a loss for them?
Well, I think the positive for the Oilers has been the way they started both games. Really strong first period in Game 1 to get a 2-0 lead. And then another strong first period in Game 2. Even though they didn't get a goal in that game, they really set a physical tone. Now, of course, San Jose responded in the first game and took the game over, but the Oilers kept it going in the second game. And I think the starts were a concern going in because the regular season games between these two teams, even though the Oilers won 3 out of the 5, San Jose had been the better first period team in all 5. So that was a big positive for the Oilers. Certainly the depth energy players for the Oilers has been a huge positive, led by Zack Kassian, who was having his name chanted at Rogers Place as he delivered several steamrolling hits.
Rogers Place for him,
yeah,
too.
which I mean, he was a villain of Oilers fans a few years ago.
Now
he's a hero, and obviously he scored the big shorthanded goal. So those were, to me, two huge positives for Edmonton so far.
Okay, one of the concerns heading into this game was the health of Oscar Klefbom, but we have some good news coming up, and we go to Tom Gazzola at the SAP Center for an update.
Guys, some good news for Oilers fans here at SAP Center as Oscar Klefbom took the morning skate. Klefbom, of course, injured his left foot blocking a Brent Burns shot in the third period of Game 2. He did not finish the game. He took some x-rays on it, says everything came back negative, and has declared himself good to go for tonight. Another thing from an Oilers perspective heading into Game 3 will be discipline, or lack thereof. The Oilers, just like in Game 1, took 6 penalties in Game 2. The PK was on point all night long and, of course, chipped in with 2 shorthanded markers in the 2-0 victory. Quickly, from a Sharks perspective, Joe Thornton, who's missed the first 2 games of this series, took the morning skate at the Sharks practice facility. He says he hopes to take the warm-ups and, of course, is listed as a game-time decision.
Thanks a lot, Tom. The hair is on point today in the Californian humidity. It looks good, doesn't it?
He always looks good.
He always looks great. Thanks a lot, Tom. So Tom alluded to Oscar Klefbom in the lineup. We're not surprised by that, are we?
Well, a guy's always going to try to play in the playoffs if he can. I mean, and he was sitting on the bench for a long time after blocking that shot before finally deciding to go to the dressing room in Game 2. So this is important for Klefbom to play. During the season, it's been Klefbom, Larson, Sekera, Russell, the Oilers' top 4. Usually one of those 4 guys leads the team in ice time every single game, so you don't have to worry about someone filling in that role, and this is an important game. And Klefbom has become the Oilers' best threat from the point on the power play, and that's been something that's been discussed a lot in previous years. Earlier this season, who has that threatening point shot that can draw defenders out and somebody that can really blast it through? And Klefbom has become that guy. I mean, the leading the leading goal scorer for Oilers defensemen this season. So you're able to keep him on that top power play unit, which hopefully opens up things for McDavid, Draisaitl, Letestu, and Lucic down low and across the middle.
So excellent news for the Oilers. Oscar Klefbom will play. Let's hear from himself from the SAP Center.
Yeah, it didn't feel very nice. Burns has a pretty good shot too. So, and like I said, it got me in a bad spot, but feels good today. I mean, I'm good to go tonight. Yeah, it felt really bad during on the bench. So we just took the safe and went in took a few pictures, and they look good. So now it's just a matter of how much pain I'm gonna stand out with. So. But like I said, it feels good, and I should be good tonight.
You heard it yourself from Oscar Klefbom. He is in tonight. Reid, let's transition now to talk about penalties because the Oilers, through 2 games, are the most penalized team in the postseason with 12 so far through 2 games. So what do they need to do to stay out of the box, and why so many penalties?
Well, first of all, I don't think they need to tone down the aggression. The body contact, especially in Game 2, consistent from minute 1 to minute 60. Everybody in the lineup doing it. I mean, obviously there were some loud hits from Maroon and Lucic and Kassian and even Draisaitl.
But they energized the team.
And everybody was physical, whether it was a shoulder or a little bump. They were doing all those things right. So you got to keep doing that. But look, there were a lot of avoidable penalties, Chris. I mean, 2 in particular from Game 2. Lucic delivers a body check, kind of blindly and wildly swings his stick takes a high sticking penalty. I mean, they know better than that. Maroon with a big hit on the forecheck in the second period gets the elbow up. I mean, they know those are totally avoidable. You can still get in there and deliver a hard body check, but do it clean with the stick down and the elbow down. So I just think for the Oilers, it's just mentally to make sure you're being aggressive but still in control when you're delivering those
because
hits.
it is a fine line to walk. Because you want to land the big hits that get the crowd energized. Well, they're in San Jose, but that energize the bench at least. But you don't want to take that penalty. So for you, it's all about stick control and just that extra
absolutely,
mental check.
because there's no reason to tone down the actual hitting itself. I mean, there's nothing wrong with the idea. I mean, they had the right idea on all those hits. It's just I mean, they know better, right? I mean, you don't have to swing your stick. You don't have to get the elbow up. Just cut out things like that, and they'll cut the penalty kill time probably in half.
But, it always helps when you can score a couple shorthanded goals just like they did in Game 2. Well, that will do it for Part 1. Coming up in Part 2, Reid and I will break down the Sharks sides of things. You're watching Oilers TV Playoffs presented by Sport Chek.